Hello and welcome to EV Car Share. Another journey. This time I'm heading down to Surrey. As you can probably tell from my clothes, I'm not working today. I'm off on a cycling day, so I'm going to head down to the Surrey Hills. Anyone who does cycle will know it's kind of Box Hill and all that sort of stuff. I know they're not particularly big hills, and I know it's not any sort of epic, but those are hills that are on my list of hills to knock off. I have an app which I'm challenging myself to complete 100 hills on, and there's 3 there that are on that app, so I'm going to ride those. It's also supposed to be a nice area, so I've not really ridden around there, so we will find out. Have a look. So in the EV6, charged to 100% before I left. I'm down near St Neots at the moment, starting from there, heading down the A1. I have just under 300 miles in the battery according to the car. Because it's a really nice warm sunny day, it's a kind of a good 24 degrees already, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So because it's a nice hot sunny day, I have the aircon on, so that will draw a little bit of power out of the battery, but it's such a tiny difference. It'll probably knock off 5–10% of the total of the journey, the possibility of miles. 120 miles down, 120 miles back approximately, so that's well under 250. As I say, I've got 300 even from this point, and I've done 25 miles already, so loads of miles available. I have my fridge. I have a little fridge plugged in the back, running off the car as well, so that's keeping my water bottles cold, so when I get down there I can have a ride with cool water rather than stuffy, sweaty hot water that I've brought with me, or warm water. And hopefully if I stop off and pick some stuff up, I can put that in there to cool down as well, maybe have a nice cold drink on my way back too. So that's the plan, and I need to get going. So enough of the talking, and let's see what this journey brings. Okay, so on the A1 at the moment, heading south. This is a section I haven't driven for quite a while, just past Biggleswade. Looks like they've been doing some roadworks and some resurfacing. This is a beautiful new surface. They're always complaining about potholes in the UK, and yes, I'm not saying there aren't any potholes, there are loads of potholes, it is a real problem. But when you get onto a surface like this, yeah, this is good, I like this. This is the complete opposite, it's beautiful. Of course, it doesn't last very long. I'm sure we'll be on to the potholey surface soon. Although they seem to be doing a lot of, there's now into 50-mile-an-hour zone, so presumably it's ongoing roadworks. Presumably the whole of this section of road, at least, is going to be improved. There's a ramp down. There we go, onto a temporary surface. So it looks like they're going to make this whole section really nice, which would be good, really good. They're also doing a whole load of digging up and infrastructure changes at Sainsbury's that I've just passed on the way down the A1 here. I noticed they're doing the electric car charging install. Sainsbury's are rolling out a whole load of car charging points across all of their car parks, it seems, right now, in a big way, in 6s and 8s, as far as I can tell from what I've seen so far. They're calling it Smart Charge, they're not calling it Sainsbury's car charging or Sainsbury's electric or anything like that. It's not getting the Sainsbury's name, but apparently it is Sainsbury's who are the owners, the runners, people running the business. So I don't know whether it's like a separate business or whether it's directly connected, or how that connection happens. But they're going in. They're, from what I could tell from where I've seen them before, they are using Power charge points, which are quite nice, quite cool, quite neat and tidy. Nice big screen, give you lots of information. As far as I'm aware, they're pretty reliable. so that will be good. And they're pricing them currently at 75 pence per kilowatt hour rapid charging, which is less than GridServe on the motorways at 79, less than InstaVolt, which tends to come in about 85-ish, but still way above what you can get if you can use a Tesla, or if you can find a Tesla supercharger. They're often around 40-50p, so they're a lot less. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Be interesting to see whether Sainsbury's, once they've paid off some of the infrastructure costs they have to outlay initially, whether they will start dropping their prices too, bringing a bit of a price war. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyway, so journey is progressing. I'm currently doing around 4 miles per kilowatt hour average over the last hour 20 minutes. Currently my energy consumption display in the car is saying that I've used 91% of my energy use for powering the wheels, moving, and only 5% on aircon, which is good, and around 4-5% on all the rest electronics. That includes my fridge in the back of the car, of course, which would be nice to have with me today. I stopped at the Sainsbury's back there that I was talking about, picked up a Cornish pasty and a couple of pork pies for eating later for my lunch. So I'll take that opportunity. Got some cool cans of Coke as well, put them in my fridge. That'll be nice on the way home. And my car is telling me I will get to my destination with 58% battery remaining, which, as I say, is good. That means I should get back home again with around 20%. So I'll do my 200 and however many miles it'll be, and still have 20% when I get home, which is perfect. So all is good. So this is the M25, ring road around London, always very busy. Here you can see we've got 4 lanes and we're still queuing. I don't think there's any roadworks as far as I'm aware. I don't think there's any accidents. I think it's just the quantity of traffic. As I say, I'm heading down to Surrey, so south of London, for a particular reason on this occasion. If I was just going to go for a cycling ride, just for the fun of a ride, then I probably wouldn't come down here. So I probably won't come down here and do this again. And this is one of the many reasons. Too many people, too many cars, too much traffic. I would instead go somewhere nicer, Peak District, Lake District, somewhere like that. But on this occasion I decided to make this decision because I want to cross off my list a set of hills that are down this way. So there we go. That's the one I'm doing. But I have to therefore put up with this sort of traffic. It does mean that my efficiency of the car is improved. I mean, I'm not traveling at 70 mile an hour while I'm sat in this traffic. So when people talk about, well, how's the efficiency or the range of the car when you're doing actual motorway speeds, you often see that talked about on Facebook. This is a motorway. This is the M25. It's one of the biggest motorways in the UK. One of the most well-known motorways, one of the most used motorways. And at the moment my motorway speed is about 6 miles an hour. So yeah, when you talk about motorway speeds, it'd be nice to think that we're going to be doing 70 all the way as soon as you get on the motorway, all the way until we get off, but in reality that's not always the case. Anyway, I will plod on and I will no doubt get there eventually. Right, so back in the car, done my cycling, took just over 5 hours, 13 big hills, 100 kilometers just over, around 2,000 meters of climbing. So a good workout, and I've got my 3 hills. Yay, I've got the White Downs, Box Hill and Leith Hill, so I can cross those all off my list. So need to go home. Car is saying I'll get home with 29% remaining. Sat nav says I'll get home at 17 minutes past 8, so that's under 3 hours, maybe 2 hours 40, something like that. So yeah, better get on with it, I guess. It's the European Championships right now, so in the football, so that'll be on the radio, so I'll have a listen to that. I've got myself a can of full sugar Coke. You need the sugar when you finish cycling, that's what I say anyway. And a cereal bar with added protein, so I'm all set. So here we are again, M25, and here we are again queuing traffic. What fun. Hopefully it won't be too much too long, hopefully it won't slow me down. The car doesn't mind. One of the advantages of electric, at least, is if you are in traffic, then you gain efficiency, so at least you've got some sort of comfort in that respect. It's probably the best way, because if something happens out of the ordinary, then you're not left short, you're left with more. Bit annoying though. Still, traffic. I'd rather be free flowing and get home sooner and use a few more kilowatt hours. But that's the way it goes. Oh, let the van go then. He's going to force his way in. I wanted to mention the charge points at Sainsbury's that I was talking about earlier. Those ones at Biggleswade, they're on the A1, so the Sainsbury's is just off the roundabout on the A1, so they're perfectly placed. They're spot on. Loads of people will be using those up and down the A1, I'm sure. For some of the others in towns, there's the Sainsbury's in town, you kind of feel like fitting ultra rapid chargers at 150 kilowatt or more seems a bit of a waste. It's around town and places you go regularly, where you kind of need to have a destination charger, something a bit slower, well, cheaper really. Doesn't matter if it's fast or slow, it just needs to be a little less expensive, especially for people who can't have home charging. So if you're living in a flat or something like that and you go to Sainsbury's on a regular basis, it's great that they've got somewhere for you to charge, but you don't want to be finished in 20 minutes. You're not really interested in a full car in 20 minutes. You're probably not going to get there with a full car anyway, an empty car anyway, to be able to fill up. So something where you can plug in and gain 30% battery in an hour, it's probably plenty enough, and then you can do the same again next time. And those destination chargers can be rolled out into car parking spaces all over the car park. You have loads of them with a probably less infrastructure cost. But seems to be faster is better in the eyes of the public. I think that's what people seem to want, is to be able to charge their car as fast as possible. The problem is people are still thinking like a petrol pump user. That's the problem. Anyway, that's my little rant. So very nearly back, just approaching 200 miles for the day. So 199.9 on the car's display. 200, there we go. Just turned over the 200 miles, 35% battery remaining. So that means over 300 from the battery in total would be available. Obviously I haven't needed it today, just 215-ish miles will be the total trip journey by the time I get home. Been a tricky day in terms of traffic. It's been a glorious day in terms of weather. Been a tough day in terms of my cycling. But the car has not missed a beat, so it's been very good. Driven really nicely as usual. Plenty of range. Charged up to 100% last night. Going to be getting home, according to the car, with 28%. So I could have charged it to 90% or something if I had preferred to, and still done the journey with plenty to spare. I don't shy away from charging to 100% every now and then before a big journey. I don't see it as a problem, and I like to keep a tab on how, using car scanner, on how much the remaining energy display shows when I've charged to 100%. Kind of, I like to think of that as a indicator of any battery degradation that there may be. At the moment, tricky to say, it kind of goes up and down a little bit. I may well be down to 72, 73 kilowatt hours rather than 73, 74 over the course of the car, which is now 18 months old and 39,000 miles on the clock. But I will keep a tab on that. I'll keep looking at that, recording the stats. I have a graph that I will probably put onto Facebook. Graphs don't make great videos. I have a graph in Google Drive, Google Sheets, that shows the remaining energy at 100%. Various dates in the past, so I can see kind of as the age of the car has moved on, how that battery maximum has changed, has drifted or changed. On the same graph I can also plot the odometer mileage as well, so how many miles the car's done. So that actually gives quite a nice indication of kind of the aging of the car and the battery. So I will keep doing that and see how things go. But as I say, we're almost home. Peterborough not too far away now, 10 miles. Okay, so that is it. Almost 215 miles. I'm 2 miles away from home. I'm going to stop here. Let's stop the video here at least. I'm not going to stop here, obviously. 30% remaining in the battery. As I say, 212 miles done. It would do 300 at this rate. I had aircon on. I've not spared the horses. Been driving 70 on the motorways wherever possible. Obviously, average has been a bit low because of all the traffic, M25 and so on. But apart from that, all good. So, all is good. And thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Hope it's been enlightening in some respect. And join me on the next one as well.